Hi everyone, welcome back. We're going to continue our journey through the MCU in chronological order with The Incredible Hulk. This movie has a lot of controversy because a lot of people either really like it or just flat out hate it. And it's especially controversial because this is with Edward Norton before he departed from the role over script changes and just not really working too well with Kevin Feige's vision. And with this movie, at the beginning, I think the beginning's a lot better than the end. We get a much more vicious Hulk, but I don't think Edward Norton is as good as a Bruce Banner. It's just he just kind of seemed like some guy instead of a scientist. He felt lacking with the character. He didn't really bring much to it for me.
Really, because I feel that way about Ruffalo. Well, I think he's a fantastic actor. For all you Mark Ruffalo fans out there, before you tell me to f off, I don't have an issue with his acting abilities. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I just never really bought him as Bruce Banner. And Edward Norton, I did. I know Edward Norton's a dick. That there's no denying that. And I understand why Kevin Feige and Marvel made the switch because he's a dick and they were like too hard to deal with. And he's been that way in every movie he's done, but I just preferred him as Bruce Banner. I really enjoy this movie until we get to the end battle. The end battle's a little cheesy, but I love the way that Hulk looks in this movie. The veins popping out, him being all like, he looks like he's been in the gym just. And then when we see him in the MCU, he's a lot smaller
Yeah.
and he just doesn't look as realistic as he did to me in this. There's scenes in this movie where he's in the rain and the way the water falls on his skin looks so realistic to me.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think the CGI and iteration of this Hulk is better than Ruffalo's, but I don't know. I couldn't really get behind Edward Norton. I also There's a lot of characters I really wasn't a fan of. Betty Ross didn't do anything besides being in love with Hulk, and she's also has like a PhD, a really prestigious career, and half the time she's just crying over Bruce Banner.
I agree
There
there.
was no development. There was no depth to the characters. I won't even touch on the leader. The leader was awful. Stearns, I don't.
He's
They
coming
just
back.
name dropped him. Well, yeah, he is coming back. Surprisingly enough.
Same actor too.
Yeah, but in this movie, it just seemed like a name drop, and it really reminded me of Hector Hammond from the Green Lantern movie, and that was awful. And this just looked like the same exact thing.
I do agree there. I,
I
I
don't
think
know
it's
why they didn't use Samson. Samson would have been better.
I agree. I agree on both of those. Like Liv Tyler, she's great to look at, but she was just like some chick that was there. And the leader, the same thing. It's just a name drop. Hopefully, I guess they were maybe they didn't have enough
It was
faith in
probably a
this movie,
sequel. I
or
don't
maybe they
know.
were like trying to set up a sequel, but they didn't really know how to do it. But the CGI, as
Yeah,
Griffin said in this movie, is fantastic. I love how it goes from Brazil to Guatemala to Mexico to the States. I love Emil Blonsky. I love that they throw in there. They hint at the super soldier serum. They briefly touch on it. I really like that. Damn it, I really love William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross.
he did an
He
amazing job.
just mean as fuck.
Yeah. Emil Blonsky did a terrific job as the villain, and William Hurt did an amazing job. Has always done an amazing job as well. Eventually, is going to be the Red Hulk. May he rest in peace. But sadly, they couldn't save this movie, and I feel like they didn't know what to do with the sequel because it kind of seemed like they were going to set up the same exact plot for the movie again, but this time with the leader. I don't know what they really wanted. This is a good action movie, but don't read too much into the plot or the characters. But if you're here for the Hulk beating up everything, go for
What
it.
they were trying to do, what they were trying to set up, and it's clear from the end credit scene, is and Kevin Feige's slightly admitted to it because he's like George Lucas. He claims that he always had this plan, but he's slightly admitted to the fact that there was a point in time where they wanted the Hulk to be the reason as to why the Avengers came together. Then they switched that up to the Chitauri and the whole thing with Thanos and stuff like that. And that would have been cool. That Hulk would have been the reason, because it makes sense. Like, the way that Stark tells him, "Hey, we're putting the team together. You know, I heard you have a problem." He has to be referring only to the Hulk. He's not referring to some intergalactical threat yet. So that would have been cool too.
But this also came out the same year as Iron Man. I don't think they really had anything planned.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't know. It's just it didn't really resonate with me well. It wasn't a great MCU movie, but luckily I do think Mark Ruffalo was a better pick. I do think that staying away from Hulk movies is probably a good idea for the MCU as they don't really know where to take it. I think keeping him as more of a side character doing their side plots is probably best because I don't think they really know how to handle a Hulk movie.
Which is sad, because I think there's a lot of stuff in there for a good, solid Hulk movie. But we'll see. I mean, I think Ruffalo is negotiating some stuff like that. Look, they haven't kept him around this long for them to not do anything with the character.
Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know who you prefer, Edward Norton or Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. We'll see you guys next week for Thor 1.
Take care, guys.